is a response video to Spooky University's topic of legalization of marijuana. Questions to ponder. I'm gonna go down to, have you ever used marijuana? The optional question. A teenager in the 1970s, yeah. Yeah. Did you like it? You know, I like the smell of it. I still do. If I ever smell it, I'm going, there's some pot. Where's that coming from? I don't smoke it now. When I did, I say from the time I was, I don't know, 16 till maybe 22. What's that? You do the math. 6 years. But unlike my friends who were getting the munchies and laughing and everything was funny, it never had that effect on me. I could smoke 3 joints and I'd be like, what? I mean, so it really didn't do that much for me. And I'm like, why isn't this stuff happening to me that's happening to them? But, you know, I'd still smoke it socially, and I like the smell of it. I haven't smoked in a while. Oh, I take it back. I don't want to rat my sister up. I know she smokes occasionally. If our cousin Heather gets some, then yeah. And I think it was last time I was down there. Yeah, I did. So it was maybe a year ago. I lied. Should it be legalized? You know, it doesn't matter whether different people have different reasons why they want it legalized and why they don't. I mean, there's a moral reason, there's a religious reason, there are medical reasons, you know, and there are the people who have the propaganda. They believe the propaganda about it, and so that's the reason. You know, it's because, oh yeah, the government says it's bad and this agency says it's bad, so it's got to be. Like my mom, she had pancreatic cancer, and my sister offered to get her, you know, some marijuana to help ease the pain, and it was like, you know, no, because she, you know, people of a certain generation, or certain people are brainwashed to think that it may be bad. Okay, it may be bad in certain aspects, but the way that it's portrayed, especially the way that, like when I was in junior high school, the films that they would show us in like health and science class, you know, I mean, like you take a couple hits off a joint and then you don't murder people like they did back in the 30s and 40s in those movies where you take one hit, marijuana was the murder weed, and then you go out and you kill like 10 people. You know, the evils of marijuana, that's all propaganda, that was all lies. And of course, you know, people making the movie knew it was lies, but I'm a big conspiracy theory person. Everything is a conspiracy theory to me. So you have these big drug corporations, you know, and marijuana used to be legal way back. Not only was it legal, but, you know, hemp, before the invention of the cotton gin, that was the cash crop in the United States. The cotton gin came along and of course made cotton cheaper, so hemp goes by the wayside. With, you know, cannabis, just like marijuana, cannabis, also in the same place. So, and then later on, people are using it, you know, and they used it for medication. I mean, it cured gout. It was used to cure gout and loss of appetite, and like a list of like 10 or 15 things that they used it for. Like it was an herbal thing. I guess it was before the big drug companies came along and made, you know, medication, you know, and raped people by getting all of their money and charging them an arm and a leg for drugs. That, and half the time, do these people really even need these drugs? I mean, when you're diagnosed with a certain illness and the doctor says take this and this and this, do you really need to take that? I mean, we're not doctors, we don't know. We're taking somebody else's word for it. I don't trust the government, I don't trust doctors, I don't trust anybody. I hardly believe anything that I hear. Because like I said, to me, it's all a big conspiracy theory. So, people were doing it recreationally, and then the religious fundamentalists come along and go, oh, that's bad. And then, of course, you know, the the legislators listened to them because they're a big voting bloc. And then I think it was El Paso, Texas was the first place to make it illegal. And then other states, other states would follow. The next thing you know, it's illegal. And then and then they passed the Marijuana Act. I think that was 1937. And then later on, it's like you get thrown in jail and all these fines. But if it is good for curing certain things, of course, the government and the big drug companies want to quash it because it's going to cut into their profits. And we know that these big businesses, like these drug companies, are greedy bastards, and they're all evil. And they're run by Satan.